powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the noon news from Montana's news leader.
Good afternoon, and thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Aja Goare. Our top story this afternoon, at least 600 people are missing after a mudslide devastated Sierra Leone overnight. Disaster and emergency officials say more than 300 people are confirmed dead, but the death toll is rising by the hour. Heavy rain turned into a nightmare when flooding caused torrents of mud to wash down Mount Sugarloaf outside the capital Freetown. Police and military personnel are in Regent searching for people trapped under the debris. As many as 3,000 people have been displaced. In other news, on the nation's Liberation Day, the leader of North Korea seems to be scaling back the threat of going to war with the U.S. CBS's Ben Tracy has the latest.
These pictures from North Korean state media show Kim Jong-un reviewing military plans with his generals to launch 4 missiles near the island of Guam. The North Korean leader decided not to immediately launch his weapons, but did launch another war of words at the U.S. He said, if the Yankees persist in their extremely dangerous, reckless actions on the Korean peninsula, North Korea's military will ring the windpipes and point daggers at their necks. The real threat is a North Korean missile capable of hitting the U.S. After several failed missile tests in 2016, North Korea has now successfully built and launched 2 intercontinental ballistic missiles, despite heavy international sanctions.
To do it so quickly is quite astonishing.
Michael Elliman is a missile expert who has closely studied North Korea's capabilities for years. He says the regime's sudden advancements mean it received some sort of help. Those missile advancements convinced China, North Korea's main trading partner, to go along with tough new UN sanctions. On Monday, China banned all imports of North Korean coal, iron ore, and seafood. Here in South Korea, the United States and South Korean military plan to carry on joint military exercises starting next week, and those exercises are seen by North Korea as rehearsals for war. Ben Tracy, CBS News, Seoul.
And Guam is home to two U.S. military bases. Here in Montana, a Missoula man is charged with attempted murder after police say he tried to kill his ex-wife. 37-year-old Jamison Richmond is charged with 2 counts of attempted homicide, aggravated burglary, and assault with a weapon. Prosecutors allege Richmond broke into his ex-wife's home in July while she and her other ex-husband were inside. Richmond allegedly put a pistol to the woman's chest and pulled the trigger, but the gun did not fire. During a struggle, a gunshot was fired into the ceiling. Richmond left the house and allegedly fired the weapon again once outside. Prosecutors say meth use is suspected. Bond was set at $250,000. 2 juveniles suspected of starting a grass fire that prompted evacuations near Clarkston now face charges. The 250-acre fire broke out north of Three Forks on Monday. Fire crews say it's now under control. Evacuation warnings were issued for nearby residents. Residents have since been allowed to return to their homes, but are being kept out of areas where helicopters are actively dropping water. The names and ages of the juvenile suspects have not been released. We now know the names of the 3 people killed in a crash in Broadwater County on Sunday. The sheriff identified the victims as 36-year-old Nicholas Whittle, 24-year-old Taylor Nelson, and 11-month-old Kinsley Nelson. All 3 were from Belgrade. The Montana Highway Patrol reports a westbound pickup truck blew a tire southeast of Amber Lane. The truck crossed into eastbound traffic on Highway 12 and struck a car head-on, killing the occupants of that car. 2 people in the pickup were transported to the hospital for treatment. The investigation is ongoing. A federal judge has ordered a halt to the expansion of Signal Peak Energy's Bull Mountain coal mine south of Roundup. Judge Donald Malloy ruled Monday the Office of Surface Mining improperly approved the mine's expansion plans without considering the public health and environmental impacts as required by law. The proposed expansion, which includes 176 million tons of coal, would have made the Bull Mountain mine the largest underground coal mine in the nation. Judge Malloy ordered an immediate stop to the expanded mining operation, finding the federal agency ignored harm to communities and the environment caused by transporting coal across the Pacific Northwest for export. Meanwhile, the Black Butte Copper Project in Marr County is getting the green light by the Department of Environmental Quality. Tintina Resources announced Monday the DEQ considers their mine operating permit complete after months and multiple submissions. Tintina's proposed mine is underground, 17 miles north of White Sulphur Springs, and sits above Sheep Creek. An environmental impact study will allow the public the opportunity to provide input. The study is expected to take about 1 year to complete. Before we get to break, a member of Montana Governor Steve Bullock's cabinet announced her resignation today. Labor Commissioner Pam Busey is stepping down after more than 4 years on the job. No reason was offered for Busey's departure. The Labor Commissioner oversees the State Department of Labor and Industry and is appointed by the governor. Bullock says Busey has been a, quote, driving force in the state, university system, and private sector, working together to create a skilled workforce for Montana. No word yet on what Busey plans to do next. Straight ahead on the noon news, a resolution in the court case involving pop star Taylor Swift. We'll tell you which side won when we come back. But first, let us look at our weather forecast. Stay with us.
You're watching